Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today I wanted to talk about how to take your blogging business to the next level in 2024. And if you are someone who has started your blog, but it feels like no matter what you do, you cannot get it off the ground or grow it, this video is for you. Maybe you've played around with a bunch of different things and it seems like that you've tried everything to make money and grow your blog, but it just feels like nothing is working. By the way, I have a cat on my lap, so if you see ears, she jumped in my lap the moment I started recording. But it's fine. We're gonna go with it. And I get that it is really hard to build a blog. It can get really overwhelming because there's a lot of moving parts and things that you need to know. And there's not really a handbook for this kind of stuff that can teach you like step by step what to do. So for this video, I'm gonna help you out a little bit and take you through what you need to do and what I've been doing to take your blogging business to the next level in 2024. And if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe down below because I put out new videos every single week on blogging tips. But the number one thing that you want to think about when you start thinking about taking your blogging business to the next level is what exactly do you want your life to look like? And I don't necessarily mean in the next year, although you could look at it in the next year. And I don't really mean setting goals right now. I just mean in general, in the future, in some undetermined amount of time, what is it that you want your life to look like? The overall feel of your life. When you sit back and think about the direction that your life is going in, what do you see? What is it that you want? And you don't have to have your entire life planned out for you right now. But I know for me, I just want to live a peaceful life. I want to live easy. I want to one day own a lake house and become a mom. Those are some of the general direction that I can see my life going in. And I also know what I don't want. I don't want a business that requires a ton of upkeep. I value my family over work, and I want to be able to drop my business and take care of my kids that I don't have yet, but will in the future. I want to make sure that I'm able to go to all of the important events. If they're sick, I want to be able to just take the day off. When they're babies, I want to soak in all of that time with them. And if we want to take a week vacation, I can do that and I can be present with them and I don't have to work. So understanding what you want in life can help you then create goals and build a business to support your lifestyle, which is my ultimate goal and the whole point of this channel and my business. I want to help you take back the life you love, which means helping you figure out what brings you the most joy, helping you get out of the 9-to-5 life if that isn't interesting for you, and building a business that supports your lifestyle. Because that's the whole point of my business, at least, is I want it to be able to support whatever lifestyle I want to live. And I have really been reflecting a lot this past week about what I want and what my next steps are in business. And for me, journaling is one of the things that really has helped thinking about what is a perfect day in the future going to look like? What mindsets am I going to have in the future? What skills do I not currently have that I am going to need to have in the future? And just asking myself generally, what feels good to me? What is it that I want? And this isn't something that you can force either, because believe me, I've tried to wrap my head around what do I want and trying to plan it and force it and just trying to force the perfect life to come to me and fall directly into my lap, which has ended up being the opposite of helpful. And it has made me more stressed and more unable to come up with what the heck I even want. So when I sat back and just kind of let the ideas come to me and let myself really think about it and sit in that mindset for a couple days, then I was able to finally kind of figure it out a little bit. And obviously these things can change. This isn't going to be set in stone, but just generally having some sort of direction is more helpful than having none. So just let it flow, come naturally to you, and don't force anything or write things down just for the sake of creating goals or just for the sake of doing this exercise. It's gonna come over time. And you might be wondering what the heck any of this has to do with taking your blog to the next level. And honestly, it has a lot to do with it. Because if you know that you want to start an interior design business one day, then you should start talking about interior design on your blog right now. If you know you want an easy life like me, then you need to start building up your passive income streams now. And if you're doing client work like I am right now, and you know that you want an easy life in the future that doesn't require that, then you need to figure out how can I get out of client work and get into passive income streams. So digging deep to think about what you really want in life is what's going to help you create those targeted goals for the future, which is what we are going to do next. The next thing you want to do is start actually thinking of goals. And I personally came up with a big list, not a huge list, but a big list of goals that I have. And then I separated them into categories. I had a 1-day type goal. This one doesn't have a set timeline, but I know it's going to happen, like me owning a lake house. That's probably not going to happen for 8 to 10 years at this point, but I know one day I want to have it. So I have my 1-day goals. And then I went down from there, 5-year goals, 3-year goals, 1-year goals, and 6-month goals. And you don't have to do all that if you don't want to, but I found it helpful to give me a little bit of a glimpse into the future. It was like a tiny little roadmap to make sure that what I am doing now is going to support me and get me where I want to go in 3 to 5 years. And of course, all of these goals can change and evolve, and nothing is really set in stone within the next couple days, let alone within the next 3 to 5 years. But as of right now, the goals are what they are, and if they change, they change. But creating a plan now is helpful, and then evolving as you go. The most important goals for your business, though, are obviously going to be the 1 year to the 6 months goals, because those are going to be what is closest. Those are going to be the most tangible goals in your business. So those should be your main focus. And then you can kind of just set other goals to say, like, this would be nice. And like, we'll get there if we get there. But the 1 year to 6 months goals should really be your main focus. So what is it that you would like to accomplish in the next year? And I would also set some personal goals as well, because your business goals can support those personal goals most of the time. For example, I know that I want to get a second car in the next year, and I know that I want to renovate parts of my house. And these are important to know because I need income for those goals, and my business is going to be giving me that income. And when you're setting goals, here are some tips to make sure you're actually setting good goals. The first thing to do is make sure you're actually setting goals and not just tasks. I recently saw this somewhere on the internet, and I thought it was genius. If you say that you want to start a blog as a goal or create a course, those aren't actually goals. Those are just tasks. A goal is something like start a YouTube channel that makes $1,000 in revenue every single month. A task is something that you can control 100%. Like, I want to post 4 times on my blog this month. That is a task. The goal is get 10,000 page views a month. And you use tasks to try and hit that goal. A goal has like outside forces that you cannot control. You cannot control if you start a YouTube channel that makes $1,000 a month. And they're also specific. If you want to set a goal, it needs to have something specific attached to it so you know when you can actually cross it off your list and call it done. Make money blogging is not a goal. Make $1,000 blogging a month is a goal. And you can even go so far as to set a timeline, make $1,000 a month by June, or whatever you want. If you just set make money blogging as a goal, when you make your first sale, you could technically cross that off your list and you can count it as good, which is great, but it's not gonna be paying many of your bills off of like a $10 sale. So setting an actual tangible goal with specific deadlines or specific numbers, that is going to be a better goal to set. And I've also tried the advice of set goals super high so that you'll have to be forced to achieve them. And truthfully, that just does not work for me. In order to hit your goals, you have to believe that you can actually hit them, and you have to be aligned with them as well. I know so many content creators that have a goal of making $100,000 a month. And I see a lot of creators actually making $100,000 a month. But for me, I don't care to make that much money. Like at all. Like I don't care at all. And I never have really cared to make that much money. I've never cared about that goal. But for a while, I had that big number in my head as like the ultimate goal because that's what everybody wants. That was my rationale for creating that goal. Is like, well, that seems to be the benchmark for a successful business, making $10,000 a month, making $100,000 a year. Everybody seems to want that goal. So therefore, I need to set that goal for myself. And will my business make that much money one day? Maybe. Maybe it'll make that much money someday, but it's not something I will ever really need. When I start making $2,000 a month, that would be more than enough money for me. And I think that also makes it more relaxing because I'm thinking like this year, even this year, like I'm still doing this, thinking like, okay, how much money do I need to make next month? Or next year? What is a good goal for me to set? And so I just set the goal of, at first, I want to make enough money next year to live comfortably. That was like my stage 1 goal. And then I asked my husband, what do you think a reasonable goal is? And I'm thinking he's going to say $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 because in my head, that's what not reasonable, but that's what the ultimate goal is. And he said, I think $1,000 a month is comfortable. And my jaw hit the floor because I was like, oh, I don't need to stress myself out and try to set a ridiculously insane goal. Like I can just set a small goal and like, that's good enough? And the answer is yes, because I'm currently making a little over $1,000 a month and we're living comfortably. That is a full-time income for me. Now, obviously, depends where you are, lifestyle, all that stuff for you to set specific goals like that. But just for an example for me, a little bit over $1,000 a month is all that I need. And hopefully that like helps you feel a little bit less stressed about setting goals. Because I know for me, it was really stressful because I'm like, oh my God, I have to make so much money. and you really don't. And a goal that huge just doesn't feel real to me. So you're never gonna really like truly work towards it. Making $100,000 at that point, it just sounds fake. Like it doesn't sound like a real goal because that money is so huge. It's like unfathomable to me. But $2,000, which is my current goal to make a month, that feels more reasonable. That feels closer to my current income, and it feels like a more reasonable, doable goal that I can set. And I'm also not saying don't dream big, but I am saying don't set a goal just for the sake of setting them or because you think that you should, because that's what a lot of my goals were, and I didn't hit any of them because I wasn't aligned with them. Which is why you first need to think about what you want in life and where you're going. Because maybe you do want to make that much money. Maybe you want to live in a mansion and make $500,000 a year, if that fits your lifestyle. And that's fantastic. Then that should be your goal. But it doesn't fit my lifestyle, and it probably doesn't fit yours either. And that is okay. Next, you want to create a plan for hitting those goals. And you can also break them down a little bit more into quarterly goals, which will then break down into your monthly goals, which will then break down into your daily tasks. I currently have whiteboards up on both of these walls here. Behind the camera, you can't see them obviously, but I have my plan written out on that board for what my 2024 goals are. And then I have my plan here for monthly goals and my quarterly goals that have been broken down from my bigger goals with my daily tasks and my monthly goals. I don't know if I said that, but all of the goals are on there. And that way you can break it down even more so that you can really hone in on exactly what it is that you need to be doing. Because if you don't plan to actually hit those goals, you're probably going to write them in a notebook, close it up, and then you're going to forget about it for a year until you show up next year to create goals and you're like, what the heck happened? A whole year just passed me by and I feel like I'm in the exact same spot that I was last year. Or you might find those goals again and be like, oh yeah, I remember when I set them. I haven't worked towards them at all. And that's not what we want. So you got to have a plan for hitting those goals. And by the way, I've been creating this plan over the course of the last week or so. So this is not something that you need to finish before this video is over. This is not something you need to finish in a half hour or even one afternoon. You can take your time with this, and I encourage you to do so that you can really hone in on what it is that you want and really create goals that feel aligned and specific towards what you want. I've played around with a lot of different goals, and some of them I have already thrown out as I've honed in on really what feels good for me and what I want for the next year and making sure that it aligns with what I want long term. So don't feel like you need to do this in a single hour and have everything planned out right away. I've been doing this for like a week and a half at this point. And one of the goals that I want to talk more specifically about is making money, because I feel like that is a huge goal that everybody has. And you want to create a plan for how to make money. So the way that I did this in general, but also for making money, is I have 3 like big picture items. I have like a main focus for this year. So my main focus is self-discipline, creating a plan and sticking to it, because I am terrible at that. Even though I'm teaching you how to do it, I am terrible at it too. And then I created 3 main business goals. So mine are build up passive income streams to $2,500 a month. I want to build up my YouTube channel to 8,000 subscribers. And I want to build my blog into Mediavine, which is an ad company. And to get into that ad company, you need 50,000 sessions a month. So those are my 3 big main goals. And then I've decided, in terms of making money specifically, how am I going to hit those goals? I want to launch a course this year. I want to update my ebook and sell my ebook. I want to build up my affiliate income. And I want to make a certain amount of money with YouTube ads this year. So I've broken it down into like smaller goals or like more tangible goals, like specific. Because like build up passive income streams to $2,500 a month. How are you actually going to get there? If that is your goal, or like $2,000 a month, or whatever the heck it is, how do you actually plan to get to that goal? What income streams do you plan on having? And then how much money would you realistically like to make with those income streams in order to make that amount of money? So like, let's say you want to release a course this year or a product. How many of them would you like to sell a month? When would you like to launch it? And then also think about how much money specifically that you need to make, as opposed to just hitting some random goal, because you want to feel connected to your goals. So if you create a tangible and a realistic number that has some reasoning behind it, that is going to help you hit that goal better. So for example, make money blogging, again, is not a goal. And it's hard to set a money goal when you don't know how much you actually need to live. So look at how much are your blogging expenses? What are the costs for your hosting and any other subscriptions that you pay for? It's going to take some time, but dig into all the things that you're paying for and see how much does my business cost a year, and then what do I need to make this year to make it profitable. So for example, if your business expenses is $1,000, in order for your business to be profitable, you need to make $1,000 this year. That is going to be your starting point. And if your goal is to take this job full time, which is, I'm assuming, likely, ask yourself, how much do I even need to make to go full time with my business? So you can start tracking how much you're spending, understand where your money is going, how much all of your bills are and what you spend in a month, so that you know what you are actually going to need to make in your business. Which, by the way, if you want a budget tracker to start doing this every single month, I actually created one and I have it for sale in my shop, which I will link down below in the description. I use this for my finances every single month, and it has been great for knowing what we're spending every single month, where to cut back, and also keeping track of income and expenses for my business as well, so that I could figure out what taxes are and all that stuff. So if you want that, really helpful, I'll link it down below. But once you have a number, that is your goal for how much you need to make. Whatever it is that you feel comfortable enough to take your business full time with, or if you want to do this as a side hustle, how much your expenses are and what percentage of your expenses you would like your business to cover, that is going to be your goal. And that's going to make it easier, not necessarily easier to hit, but it's going to make it more real and more tangible and kind of put you on the path towards hitting it, giving yourself your best chance, because you're like, okay, I want to make this much money because I want to go full time and this is how much I need to live. So it's not just setting a goal for the sake of setting a goal. It's setting a goal for the sake of, I need this much money to live if I want to go full time, which I do want to go full time. So therefore I need to make this much money, as opposed to, I want to make $100,000 because everybody else says that they want to do that, which was my original goal for a long time. And that's not tangible. It's not good enough, you know? And then you can ask yourself what revenue sources you would like to have this year. And this is where your lifestyle comes into play. I want ease. I want peaceful. I want simple. So I need revenue sources that are going to work with that type of goal. I need revenue, passive income that is going to work and generate while I am not working. So client work and membership programs and stuff like that, that is off the table for me. Those require a lot of upkeep in order to maintain. So I'm now looking at, okay, what passive income streams can I do? Affiliate marketing, digital products, courses, passive things like that. And maybe for you, you love coaching people and you know that you one day want to be a speaker on stage. So maybe coaching is what's going to be best for you. It all comes back to whatever your lifestyle is. If you know that you want to be a mom like me and you want to be there present for your kids, then you need to probably have some passive income streams in place. But I'd also have you choose one revenue source to focus on instead of trying to do them all at once, which is the next big tip I have for you. You're going to want to simplify your business. If you're not making any money blogging, or if you're making very little money blogging and you feel all over the place with projects, it's time to cut back and focus. And I say this because I, for the last year, have been completely overwhelmed with different things that I have been trying, which is why self-discipline is my current goal, because I feel all over the place. I see a shiny object and I go after it and I make a plan and then I usually don't follow through with it. And it's just exhausting. It is overwhelming with all the social media accounts, blogging, YouTube, Pinterest, client work, email marketing. The list is endless when it comes to blogging jobs. And I'm sure you feel the same way. But I also kept adding more to my plate. So I recently scrapped some things in my business, like a second website I was planning on adding, a Discord, Twitter, which I quit a while ago because I don't like the way Twitter is going anymore. Threads is now off of my phone. I don't really plan to focus on Instagram for a while yet this year. And I got rid of email marketing. Why did I do all this? I looked back at what I really wanted, and I want ease. I want one place online to house all of my stuff. One blog, one hub of information where people can go and learn anything that they need to learn about me. I didn't want 2 blogs for me to maintain. That would possibly require secondary social media accounts, and it would require so much more. I want to be a mom. I want to have a life of ease. I want my business to work when I'm not working. I don't want to add more to my plate. And adding a second blog, adding a Discord, doing Twitter, doing all this stuff, all these social medias, all these different income streams, revenue sources, all of that is going to be really hard for me to keep up when I have a child running around. Some people can do it, and of course you can hire a team to help you do that stuff in the future, but as of right now, as a one-woman show, that is not feasible for me. I ended up testing out a lot this year and finally decided to just cut back the basics so I could focus. And this goes for your income streams too. Focus on one and go from there. And I know you probably hear all the time, diversify your income streams, diversify. You have to diversify. You can't just have one. You have to diversify. I know you probably hear it all the time because so do I. But I'm going to be honest, if you're not making any money at all or very little, those people are not talking to you. That advice is not for you. It's not for me either. Because the people who are saying that you should diversify are 100% correct. You should diversify. But if you don't have a single solid income stream yet, you do not need to start another. You cannot keep up with the Joneses all over the place. You need to focus because that's what they did in the beginning was they focused and now they have a team of people helping them or they have one income stream growing and it's going on its own. So now they can put their focus towards another, one thing at a time, which is so hard for me to say because I'm really good at going all over the place. So this advice is as much for you as it is for me. But the power of focus is insane. I focused so hard on my YouTube channel the past 2 years and it has grown really, really well. And my blog, despite the fact that that's typically what I teach on, got pushed to the side a bit because I was so busy trying to juggle 20 other things and trying to just throw anything at the wall and see what sticks. Try to just make anything work in desperation, trying to figure out where do I want to go? What do I want to test out? And just shiny object syndrome. My blog got pushed to the side. I couldn't work on it. I didn't have the time. And as a result, it did worse than my channel, which is where my focus was being put. And now it's still holding on pretty good. Like it's doing well, but the growth was nowhere near where the channel's was because my focus was on the channel. So consider everything this year, everything you tried out and ask yourself, was there anything that I did not enjoy that I did this year? Is there anything that I can get rid of or something that did not work out? For me, one of those things was an email list. I don't really enjoy email. And it was hard to make a decision to get rid of it because everybody hounds you with, you need an email list. The money is in the list, which is still true no matter what. That is still true. However, if you are not actively working on that income stream and that source of revenue, then the money is not in the list. And for me, it was just more of a investment sink. It was just wasting me money because I wasn't really working on it. It's not something that I enjoy. So I stopped doing it. So if you find something didn't work out or didn't go the way that you planned, just get rid of it. You experimented with it, you tried, but if it doesn't make you happy and it doesn't fit your intended lifestyle, just get rid of it. You can always add on more later. I do plan to bring my email list back at some point. Right now is not that time. I'm going to focus on my blog, I'm going to focus on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to focus on Pinterest. That is it. 6 months down the line, 3 months down the line, when I have a better focus, I'll add on Instagram back. I might add on an email list back at some point. But there are so many different ways to run a business and no way is right. Every way that there is to run a business can work out. And there's a lot of people out there that don't have an email list that are doing successfully. So even though you think, okay, well, everyone's doing it, so I have to, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the case. And I know that because I've been doing it. And these are the 4 main things that I have been doing to simplify my business while also taking it to the next level. And if you want to learn more from me, the last podcast episode is here, or if you want to start a blog, check out this video right here. Make sure to like if you like and subscribe to my channel down below because I post new videos about blogging every single week. Bye.